Alrighty, good people of YouTube, let's talk today about your intervals, how we can use our intervals to unlock your entire fretboard. And I'm going to focus this towards arpeggios and using arpeggios as a way to play across the fretboard and learn the fretboard at the same time. So anyways, let's get into it. So quick overview on intervals. Intervals are just the distance between 2 points. Simply put, if we play a major scale and we look at them, 2 pair intervals, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seven, octave. That would then be the exact same thing over the second half. Now, if we look at a minor scale, slightly different because our third, sixth, and seventh notes are all different. They're, instead of being major third, sixth, seventh, they're all minor third, sixth, seventh. The other intervals are all the same, so we still get major second, minor third, so I should have done that, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, minor seventh, octave. So that set of intervals creates our major and minor scales. You might have heard that like tone, tone, semitone, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we're going to use these with arpeggio. So let's take, I'm going to take a G major 7th arpeggio for example. Now, notes G, B, D, F sharp, G, B, D, F sharp, G. Let's look at the intervals instead. What's that? Major third, then minor third, major third again, minor second. So the advantage of this being, yes, you can just do this with notes as well, but it's another way to look at it. Sometimes when you're improvising on the fly, you may not know exactly where a note sits, but you know the interval, vice versa too. You jump on a guitar with a different tuning, your notes might not be as good, but say it's still a standard tuning guitar, your intervals will still be the same. So there's lots of benefits to learning your intervals. You should know your notes as well, but that's another thing. We're just worrying about intervals today. So let's see how we can construct that in various positions. Still G major 7, still the same set of notes, but I'm going to more think about intervals rather than shape or notes. So again, major third, minor third, major third, minor second. Okay, why don't we continue from here? So what do we say? Major third, minor third, then we've got a major third again, minor second. I'm not thinking about position, I'm just moving across wherever I want to go. Let's try a different way. Major third, minor third. Now, major third, minor second. Or let's go major third, minor third, now major third, and then minor second. We can keep going. Major third, minor third, major third, minor second. All right, let's keep going. Major third, minor third, major third, minor second. So you're starting to see that no matter where I go, I'm not having to worry about a full 4-note shape to get me an octave. I'm just worried about one note, where its next pair is, and I can travel across the whole board. Let's pick another arpeggio. Let's do a minor 7th. We'll just keep it in G, right? So our notes here, we get G, B flat, D, F. Let's look at intervals. Minor third, major third, minor third, major second. Because it's the polar opposite chord, everything's flipped. So our majors have gone to minors and vice versa. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to do this really impractical, but just to show you. So minor third, next one's a major third. Then we had a minor third, and then a major second. I don't think I'm ever going to play an arpeggio in that method, but just so you can see, you can go anywhere. It may have uses, right? What if we slid the first note? Let's go minor third, then major third. This is okay now, I can reach that. And then back to minor third, major second, right? Keep going, minor third, major third, minor third. So see what I'm doing? I'm traveling across the whole fretboard, but I'm not really sticking to a specific position. So learning them like this is a great way to break out of those typical boxes that you see and be able to play any shape, or not really a shape, but create your own shapes, create your own phrases, create your own train tracks across the whole fretboard. So works with everything, works with scales as well. But with scales, you've got so many pairs of intervals that it gets tricky to remember. Arpeggios are much easier. So I would start with these simple arpeggios. 7th arpeggios are good, just gives you a little bit of a challenge. Figure out the interval shapes, interval positions. And remember, it doesn't matter if I do G major 7, or I do A major 7, or I do D flat major 7. The notes change, and that's where knowing your notes gets a little bit tricky because you got to think about different notes every time. Your intervals do not. I should have said that right at the start. That's probably the biggest point. So if we look at it in terms of that, G major 7, as we did, major third, minor third, major third, minor second. I'm not even going to look. What note is that? Damn, I thought it was a C sharp. Don't have perfect pitch. It's D. But intervals are the same. Major third, major third, minor second. So it doesn't matter how I go about it, where I want to put it, as long as I know which intervals create a major seventh arpeggio, I can get across the whole neck. So that's your advantage of using intervals to kind of unlock your arpeggio positions across the whole entire guitar. Let's have a look at some chords. So let's take a C major chord. What intervals create that C major chord? It's a root, a major third, and a perfect fifth. Now, there's two ways we can think about this. We can think about them all based off the root note being C. So C to E is a major third, C, D, E. And the other note in that chord is G, which is C, D, E, F, G, our fifth. However, if we look at it like this, that's a major third. Cool. What about from E? What's E to G? It's a minor third. So if we're trying to figure out chords, we can also use our interval knowledge to find said chord. So I'm going to pick a note that's in that chord. I'm going to pick E. I'm going to play it up here on the 9th fret on the G string. So I know that, okay, I've got my third, excuse me, but I need to find my root and fifth. So, okay, I don't know where that is. Oh, there's the major third. Okay, where's the fifth? Or where's the minor third? So it just depends on where you're focusing your tonality off, but you can also use your intervals to find any chord you want. Let's pick something else. Let's pick a B flat minor chord, right? So in a minor chord, your intervals are going to be minor third, major third. So let's have a look. We go to B, we go to B flat. I'm going to use the arpeggio to make it really obvious for a second. So we get minor third, major third. Those notes, B flat to D flat, and then D flat to F, that creates B flat minor. Now, that's a pretty traditional arpeggio shape. Let's look more like a chord. So let's just pick B flat. I'm just going to use the octave of. Now, what did I say I need? Minor third, major third. So there's our starting note, our 1. There's my minor third. There's my major third. Now I've got a B flat minor chord. Now, I know because there's no open strings in this, I can just move this position across. It's like a F minor shape. You want to kind of relate it back to that relative cage boxy system. But the advantage is the notes, B flat, D flat, and then I've got my F there. If I wanted to move this to say D flat minor, I might be like, ooh, what are the notes really quickly? I've got to go through and go, okay, that's D flat, that's E flat, that's A flat. But if I know my intervals, minor third, major third. Quicker process, don't have to think about those note names too. So start considering that. Use your intervals to find your arpeggios and your chords, and it's not a bad idea to play your scales like a technique drill in interval sets. What I mean by that, A major scale, like a counterpoint style, yeah? Good for your string skipping as well. All I'm doing there is playing root note, next interval, major second, root note, major third, root note, fourth, root note, fifth, major sixth, seventh, octave, all the way through the scale. Notice I'm keeping that middle finger there. Do the same with the minor. When you do the minor, it depends which shape you're going to play. You're going to go backwards, or you're going to go 3-note per string style, because that will change what you do. If you want to go this way, can get quite stretchy to get all the way up to there, or you might have to shift a finger. But anyways, as long as you go through root, major second, root, minor third, root, fourth, root, fifth, root, minor sixth, root, minor seventh, root, octave. Now here I might choose to go, once I get to that spot, root, then go to the second, minor third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and the octave. So not a bad idea to do that too, because then you can start to learn your interval positions based off a root note. So for example, I do this to my students a lot too. I'll be like, play me a major third, or rooted off A, right? Play me a, minor 6, alternative position. Play me, say, let's do a major third with the second octave. Next octave up, so that was the octave in major third. The quicker you can do that, the more you can find anything really, but you start to learn about relative position. And if you get a weird chord, let's say you get something like let's do a D7 flat 9. Sounds hard. I go, okay, what do I need for that? I need a major third, I need a minor 7th, and then I need a minor 9th, which is also a flat second or a minor second. So I go, okay, there's my D, there's my major third, there's my flat 7, there is my 9th, so I know that there is my flat 9th. Not as bad as it sounded. Yep, easy way to do it. So just start thinking about trying to use your intervals in stuff you already know and start using them to unlock your fretboard. It's a really good secret of the pros and good improvisers all over their intervals. So hope this helped. Leave down in the comments if you want me to cover anything else or if you have any extra questions, and I'll get back to you at some point. Perfect. Have fun.